Cognitive functions or psychological functions refer to mental processes that govern a person's psyche. Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist, identified four main psychological functions: thinking, sensations, feeling, and intuition. These traits and an additional four shadow traits apply to all Myers-Briggs personality types, including INFJs. Here are how an INFJ mind works and some tricks you could learn from them. Number 8. Gather information before making decisions. Introverted intuition, or NI, is the primary way in which INFJs understand the world around them. As a result of this dominant function, INFJs can absorb information in an abstract manner and see patterns and symbolism in almost everything. Because of their introverted intuition, an INFJ often feels like information comes to them out of nowhere. As a result, they may have to backtrack their thoughts while internally organizing their processes to determine when exactly their aha moment struck. This is why INFJs are extremely skilled at recognizing patterns and understanding how abstract theories and ideas may be connected. The downside is that they may become obsessed with a new idea and succumb to examining it from every perspective until they completely understand it. INFJs enjoy observing the details and looking for hidden meanings, patterns, and trends. They reflect on multiple ideas and perspectives before coming to a conclusion. As a result, they can foresee implications and likely results, have enhanced strategic thinking abilities, can read between the lines, and look for the symbolism and significance beneath reality. They also look for the unseen ripple effects of current actions and experiences. Number 7. Tune into the emotional wavelength of others. An INFJ's auxiliary function is extroverted feeling, or FE, which is related to the moods, energies, and feelings of other people. INFJs are able to immediately sense the emotional energy of those around them by tuning into their emotional wavelength. Their extroverted feeling tells INFJs when a loved one is going through something challenging, even if they're trying to suppress or hide their pain. This is also why people often feel comfortable around an INFJ and tend to open up to them easily with no prompting. INFJs have a warm, nurturing, and empathic disposition, which means they want to lend an emotional shoulder to the loved ones. They also feel fulfilled when they guide, inspire, and mentor others. In social situations, this extrovert mask helps INFJs consider the emotional and physical needs of those around them to create a harmonious atmosphere. They live by a code of conduct about what should and should not be done when it comes to interacting with the outside world. Number 6. Create a mental map of how things work. An INFJ's tertiary function is introverted thinking, or T, because of which they make decisions based on data and theories that they process internally. In short, they develop systems and models to explain and understand how things around them work. Introverted thinking gives INFJs an interest in using elaborate words to describe things, a focus on making sensible decisions, and a tendency to nitpick the logic behind several arguments. They will also develop a strong dislike for logical fallacies and inaccuracies. Introverted thinking offers a logical balance to the advocate's natural empathetic and intuitive sides. It helps them understand the logical reasoning behind their intuitive insights. Over time, as their tertiary function develops, INFJs may become more cautious and precise in making decisions. They develop their introverted thinking function in low-stress ways such as puzzles, word games, or learning new skills. This way, they become more open-minded and logically consistent while their tertiary function develops. Number 5. Fully experience and soak in the present. Extroverted sensing is an INFJ's inferior function and makes them observant, practical, and quick. With a strong awareness of the physical world, INFJs use this trait to react quickly and accurately, as well as notice details in their present environment. Extroverted sensing gives INFJs a desire to fully experience the present and soak in all the memories. They get a high from the simple pleasures of life, like being in nature, owning trinkets, or challenging their body through exercise. This can be considered the Achilles heel for INFJs, as unless fully developed, it can make them feel out of their element. While they do find this trait impressive in their peers, they may feel like they are unable to master it themselves. However, once this trait develops later in their life, INFJs learn how to interact with the world around them in a fluid, graceful manner. They're also in tune with the most minute details and recall factual observations accurately. Number 4. Explore possibilities and generate alternatives. After the 4 main egos and tonic functions, the shadow functions of a personality type also determine their cognitive functions. The opposing role of extroverted intuition is the dominant shadow trait among INFJs, and it helps them explore possibilities, make random connections, and generate alternatives to nearly everything. When this function is not fully developed, the oppositional role may feel like a foreign entity that INFJs don't relate to. They may experience it as a distracting voice to their introverted intuition, where they focus on singular insights only. As a result, they may regularly see realistic possibilities playing out in their mind's eye, therefore exploring alternatives in their core visions. For example, they may create multiple backup plans for a project at work in case one doesn't pan out due to unavoidable circumstances. This shadow trait can help them stay ahead of the game no matter what, and excel in what they do even in dire situations. Number 3. Balance emotional awareness with personal needs. Introverted feeling compels a person to make decisions based on their personal value system or how they feel in a given situation. For INFJs, this shadow trait serves as the critical parent function, which contrasts their auxiliary function of extroverted feeling. In INFJs who are not aware of balancing the two, it can serve as the voice in their head that guides them toward self-doubt and makes them critical of those around them. Usually, an introverted feeling is accentuated in moments of stress to remind the INFJ to focus on being a better person. However, for a mature INFJ who knows how to balance these contrasting traits, the introverted feelings can help them balance their emotional awareness with the in-depth awareness of their own personal needs and values. It can help advocates not to be pushed over by their auxiliary function, especially when they overextend themselves for other people. It keeps their helping hand and generosity in check so that they don't get hurt or limit their capacity to move forward. Moreover, it helps them accept their past failures and not hold themselves against strict standards, especially in situations that require them to be flexible. Number 2. Delegate, organize, and manage. As already mentioned, INFJs have introverted thinking as their tertiary function. Their shadow trait of extroverted thinking, on the other hand, can help them make decisions based on logic and fact. It means that those with a developed sense of extroverted thinking prefer to follow systems that are already in place and tend to do whatever works. In INFJs, extroverted thinking manifests itself as their trickster function, which can distort their reality when not balanced. It may make what they experience different from what they think they experience. It can show up as a mischievous voice, dismantling people's agendas and rules. Mature INFJs who can balance both extroverted and introverted thinking are capable of organizing and structuring the world around them for maximum efficiency. They leverage the benefits of empirical logic and always keep an eye out for standard operating procedures that can help them keep life running smoothly and effectively. They become skilled at managing resources, organizing, and delegating tasks. They also develop a better connection with TJ personality types and feel less belittled or controlled by them. Number 1. Prioritize routine, comfort, and well-being. Introverted sensing is a shadow trait in INFJ, which can allow them to take in information and connect it with previously accrued knowledge. Those with well-developed introverted sensing are great at recalling details and sensory memories. Since it's the weakest of all 8 INFJ functions, introverted sensing is referred to as the demon function. Often, it's used to describe INFJs when they're at their worst. That is, when they are overly rigid while making decisions or extremely attentive to details. It could come across as a resentment towards those with more developed introverted sensing. However, as INFJs grow and mature, even this demon shadow function can help provide them with startling facts or a series of past mistakes that can help them make good decisions in conflict situations. Which INFJ mind trick are you planning to use? Comment below. As always, like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on psychology.